guys, it's Sarah, and I am starting a new series on my channel called Playing Catch Up. I don't like the way that sounds whenever I say it. Playing catch up. Catch up. But I really like the idea of this series, and I like the name. It's kind of cute. It's kind of weird. That's kind of like me, right? No, no. Oh god. Okay, anyway, this series is going to be me picking out books that have been maybe overhyped, or books that have been, you know, ones that I have bought based on the hype and that I have not read yet. And I'm going to read them and talk about my feelings about them, basically review them, and then at the end talk about how I felt the book versus the hype, and if it lived up to the expectations I had for it, or if it kind of fell flat. And I'm really excited about this, mostly because whenever I started booktubing, I would just buy whatever books everyone was talking about, and I've not read those books yet. So I really need to read these books, and this will be a great way for me to read them as well as share my thoughts on them and be a little bit more selective when I choose the books in the future and make sure that I know what I like versus what others may like more or less. Let's jump into the first book that I chose for this video series, and that is Rebel Belle by Rachel Hawkins. This book follows Harper Price. She's already awesome because she's got the same last name as me, so holla back, girl. She lives in the South, and she is a Southern belle. She is really into her cotillion. She wants to be homecoming queen, and she is a senior in high school. She's got some family drama back at home, and she has this arch nemesis named David who kind of terrorizes her at school. She's got a great boyfriend, she's got good friends, she's the head captain of the cheerleading squad. She's basically got, you know, a pretty good life going on. In the beginning of this book, something happens where she gets magical powers, and there is a whole slew of trouble and things that happen after she gains these powers, and it is really interesting. I have read Rachel Hawkins' series, the Hex Hall series. I've read the first 3 because the 4th one didn't come out until later, and then by that time I was already in the thrones of only reading romance novels or adult romance, so I haven't picked up the last book in that series yet, but I knew going into this I was going to enjoy Rachel Hawkins' writing style. She's very comical, very clear in the pictures she's trying to write, and just very fun, action-packed, fast-moving. You know, it's all in this novel. As for the characters in this novel, I really liked Harper. She was a little bit different than the main characters I'm used to reading from. She was a little bit more feminine, she was a little bit more kick-ass at the same time. She was just very different than the usual mold that some writers tend to follow when writing a story along these lines, like a paranormal romance-esque novel. I will say that I was not convinced of her character until about 50 pages in, and then I enjoyed the way her character developed. I really liked the way, you know, the way the mystery played out, because obviously she doesn't know where she's gotten these powers from, and she doesn't have to rely on anybody else while searching for the answers to her questions. And I really appreciated that, because in some of the novels that I have read in the past, I feel like that is a main issue, especially when there's a romance involved and you have, you know, this guy that comes in and he's like, yeah, you're this and it's part of my world, and she gets sucked into his world, where in this case she was more or less the person that is, you know, the one that owns the world. I don't know how to explain it. That's the best way I can explain it. It's just very interesting. She's finding out all the answers, and, you know, there is a little bit of companionship in here, but at the same time she is mostly just figuring things out on her own, or guiding the mystery about what's going on with her. The world in this novel is really great. I really liked the answers that she gets. They were really mysterious, very different than what I was expecting them to be, and just very awesome. I really liked the way the author wrote it. I really liked the way, you know, it was built up, and I feel like it delivered a lot of what I was expecting from it. As for anything else, the writing style I already talked about. Any other characters that were in the story, her boyfriend and David are main characters in her life at the moment, and it's very interesting, the dynamics between the two. I wasn't sold on David throughout the book. He wasn't my favorite character, and I wasn't sold on the, you know, love interest of boy character, her boyfriend, and some of her friends I just didn't care for either. I think Harper really drove the novel for me, and the side characters weren't necessarily my all-time favorite, as well as, yeah, my all-time favorite. Yeah, so that is kind of my thoughts on this, a quick little talk about it. I really enjoyed it. I had some issues with disconnect. I had some issues with maybe information overload, like I felt like maybe it was info dumpy in some places, but overall I really really enjoyed it. I ended up giving it a 4 out of 5 stars. It was fun, it was fast-paced, it was quick, I read it in a day. I really, like I said, liked the main character and she really drove the story for me. Now let's talk about if I think this book deserves the hype. When this book came out, I'm pretty sure this one was sent out for review way before it came out, or at least a month before it came out, and a lot of booktubers had received it, and I remember thinking, oh, I need to pick that up because all these other people were receiving it, and you know, I remember Lindsay saying that she really liked it, and everybody's reviews seemed to be around the same consensus of that it was really great and that it is a book that we should pick up. My thoughts on it are the exact same. I think that it's definitely worth the hype. This book has it all. It has action, it has romance, it has, you know, mystery, it has a lot of great elements to it, and like I said, the main character kind of breaks the mold a little bit, and I really enjoy that. I really like the way that she was in the story. I just really liked the main character, and I feel like that is hard to find in some books that I've been reading recently. So I definitely think this is worth the hype. If you are on the fence about picking this up, or if you own it and haven't picked up yet, I would recommend it, and I would love to hear your thoughts on it and if you think the same things as I do. Okay guys, that is all that I have for this video. I hope that you guys enjoyed this. I'm really excited about this series. I think it'll be a lot of fun. I know I've been kickstarting a lot of series on my channel and not following through with them, but that's maybe because they've lost their appeal a little bit. This one I feel like I'll stick to because it helps me read my TBR books as well as allows me to discuss them. So I'm excited about it. I hope you guys are. I hope you're doing well. Let me know down below what you guys thought of Rebel Belle, and if you thought it was worth the hype. Let me know any thoughts that you have on it. If you liked or disliked it, let me know down below. Thanks so much for watching, and I will see you in the next one. Read more books! That is just so lame. Read more books! I have to be like assertive. Read more books. 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 There we go. Read more books. Read more books. Just read more books. Okay? Just read them. Okay.